I thought my father didn't want me. Then I found his letters. It started with a throwaway comment from my aunt at Thanksgiving. We were sipping wine, talking about old family stories, when she laughed and said, "Your dad used to write the sweetest letters. I still have one where he swore he'd teach you to ride a bike when you turn 6. I froze. I was told my dad walked out before I turned 2 and never looked back, that he didn't care, that he never even sent a birthday card. I asked her where she got the letter. She blinked, confused, and said, "Your mom gave it to me, said you didn't need it." I went cold. That night I confronted my mom, gently at first, just asked if dad ever tried to reach out. She scoffed, said I was being dramatic, said he sent one letter maybe, but it was years ago and full of lies. But something in her voice cracked, a twitch at the corner of her mouth. I knew her too well. She was hiding something. So I waited until she was out one afternoon and went searching. In the back of her bedroom closet, inside an old shoebox, I found them. Dozens of envelopes, all addressed to me. My name in the same slanted handwriting, over and over, postmarked from different cities all years apart. Only some were open. I read the first one. He wrote that he missed me. He hoped I still liked peanut butter and banana sandwiches, and he was moving, but would keep sending letters in case one made it through. They spanned decades. Every birthday, every Christmas. He included a photo of himself outside a bodega store which he had bought. He bought it hoping to prove he could financially take care of me, and would continue to send me mom money to take care of me. My mom never mentioned any money. In another letter, he said he hoped one day I'd walk in, and he'd recognize me instantly. I felt like my chest had been hollowed out. I didn't cry. I just sat there, shaking, reading every single letter. My mother had kept him from me for over 20 years. I didn't tell her what I found. I just took a few letters, scanned the return addresses, and started digging. It took a week of online searching and a kind bookstore clerk, but I found him. My next day off, I decided to go and visit him. He was older, grayer, wearing a soft sweater with elbow patches. When he opened the door and saw me, he paused. I said, "Hi," and he whispered, "I prayed for this day." He invited me inside and made tea. His hands were trembling as he sat across from me, his eyes never leaving my face. "I wanted to come visit," he said softly. "God, I wanted to see you. But your mom, she told me when you were little that she never wanted to hear from me again, that she'd tell you I was dead if I tried. So I wrote, I hoped maybe one day." He didn't finish. He didn't have to. He showed me a box in his living room, full of every drawing I made in preschool. He kept a paper star I glued together with glitter. He never stopped being my dad. He just wasn't allowed to be. We cried together. He told me about how he used to sit in bookstores reading parenting books, pretending he had somewhere to bring the advice. I told him how I used to sit at my window, imagining my real dad out there wondering about me. I haven't spoken to my mom since. She called when she realized the letters were gone and I let it go to voicemail. I spent 20 years thinking someone had thrown me away. Turns out it was someone who swore they loved me, keeping me from the one who actually did.